Yo folks, and welcome to the channel. My name is Work, and today's video we'll be covering Gacha Weekly for the end of the year. We got some collabs, some freebies galore occurring because of the holidays, news updates, FGO changing some of their dev stuff. Let's go ahead and jump right into this. First things being is Zero released today, which is pretty cool. If you want to try your hand at this game, it's sort of like an AFK-esque sort of inspired game. We'll see how it goes. I think this is based off of a webtoon, and that's why, you know, it could be popular. We'll see. I'll do a first impressions reroll guide on that on another day. Next things being is Black Rock Shooter is going to be getting a mobile game, which I think is pretty interesting. If you don't know what Black Rock Shooter is, it has like this Vocaloid-esque sort of inspiration behind it. Very interesting story where like this young girl has an alter ego as the Black Rock sort of shooter. So I'm curious where this one is going. Is this going to be an RPG, a racer? I don't know, but I'm really curious as to how they'll handle the Black Rock Shooter sort of IP. And then next things being is there's this game called Soul Tide that's going to be releasing in JP in 2022 as well. Honestly, it seems pretty interesting. It's going to be a dungeon RPG. We'll see how that sort of flows. Here's going to be an overview on some of the characters. Honestly, they picked some decent characters, but the trailer has some better characters in it. So let's go ahead and look at it. This is going to be, I guess, an overview on like sort of the map. I'm assuming it looks kind of cool. Look at this. We got like some FGO sort of inspired Rosario. She looks pretty amazing right there. We got some husbandos in case you guys were wondering. Those are going to be there because sometimes people want husbandos and waifu equality. There's going to be Deanna. She looks absolutely amazing. And Coco, you know, you have your different mixed sort of style waifus, lollies, and you know, your ara-aras. And then here's going to be a look at the gameplay within like these sort of shard-esque sort of deals. So I'm guessing that's like a map view. There's going to be like the 2D animations between like different characters as you talk to them. There's going to be some animations right there. I'm guessing it's going to be in like this sort of pixelized-esque sort of format. You can see like some things of gameplay or some things of like, you know, how the animation is going to roll out. And then honestly, this character kind of teasing us. It looks absolutely adorable. We'll see where this game sort of takes us in 2022 and if it comes to global, but honestly, just want to cover it really quick because it looks kind of adorable and I just like seeing like these sort of games come into the format. All right, Tower of God is also going to be getting a sort of mobile game as well. And you have some animations that you can see from like this little trailer right here. Honestly, I was more like curious on these screenshots right here. You can see there's some gameplay occurring. They're fighting a big boss. There's going to be like, I guess the menu looking screen. And then there's going to be like some webtoon stuff going on in there. And then here's going to be how like some of the characters look. Obviously this game is going to be like early gameplay footage or, you know, early like sort of screenshots the way you're seeing it. But it seems to be a 2D action RPG, not going to be your turn-based like the ones that we got earlier for, you know, the Tower of God or sort of webtoon-esque inspired game. So just want to put that in your radar. Next thing being is Exorcist in Island. I think this is actually going to be releasing sometime in January. Now, why is this game sort of hype? Well, it reminds me of like one of those 3D games that has like the same exact format. I can't name it off the top of my head, but what's nice is it's going to be coming like relatively soon. It's inspired by sort of like this webtoon, like sort of comic that's already released by it. And honestly, the animations look okay. And we've had worse gachas start us off right in 2022. And then we have games like Demo 2 that's actually going to be releasing sometime in January as well. There's a pre-registration campaign. Just note this is going to be a rhythm-based game in JP. There was some hype for Demo 1 and there's some hype for this game. So just wanted to talk about it. Here's going to be a Grows Frontline in 2022. Just note that the Yuzong Project Neural Cloud might be coming outside of China soon, which is kind of interesting. I didn't think any of like, you know, the Grows Frontline sort of series games would be releasing out of China anytime soon. But what's really nice is you get some quick footage on like the actual gameplay right here. Honestly, I was watching it for a bit. What's really interesting for this is where all of the units are sort of located. You can see there's some dead units on the map, which I didn't think like they would show it in this game like this. Fire Emblem Heroes or any of the tactics game on mobile, they don't usually show like an actual character dead on the ground like that. So I was kind of impressed at how dark that they were trying to be. I know Grows Frontline is generally a dark game, but I didn't think they would actually go to these lengths. So if it's actually that immersive for a mobile game, I'm curious, and if it actually appears in, you know, 2022 for us, that'll be really cool to see. Next thing being is Black Clover is going to be announced for Unreal Engine 4, but most of all, it's going to be getting a global release, that is for sure, because Pearl Abyss invested in Vic Game Studios, a Korean startup. And what's really nice is that hopefully this doesn't get too messed up. Was founded by Jae Young Choi, the development lead for Netmarble hit mobile game 7 Deadly Sins. So you might see some inspiration of 7 Deadly Sins. You guys have seen the trailer already. It's very reminiscent of sort of like the 7 Deadly Sins as sort of hype style. I'm hoping like Bandai or Netmarble is nowhere near this because, you know, Pearl Abyss is the one that's sort of like running the show with Vic Game Studios. Pearl Abyss is not the worst sort of publisher, so we'll see how this sort of goes. Honestly, the gameplay and all like the different animation has me really hyped for this, and Seven Deadly Sins was a decent game aside of like, you know, the actual monetization, but it coming to global, you know, being on Unreal Engine 4, that has me pretty hyped to say the least. Next thing being is Guardian Tales having some free summons in case you want to jump into it. I think Guardian Tales is a phenomenal game. Then we also have Tensura Slime having some free rolls as well, which is kind of nice. You have Blue Archive ending the year with some free rolls or some free summons as well. Get your Pyroxenes, which is the summon currency. We have Umisume or Umamisume, the horse racing game over at JP, absolutely killing like their box office when it comes to grossing. And yeah, there's going to be some free summons there in case you want to participate in that. There's some free Xmas summons over in Konosuba, Blue Archive we covered earlier, Romancing Saga, Dragon Ball Legends, PGR, Punching Gray Raven, Epic 7, Alchemy Stars, and FGO. So that's going to be really cool. Speaking of FGO, there's some New Year promo stuff essentially occurring. We'll talk about the change in devs, but you know, just wanted to showcase this, some FGO love, because FGO definitely one of the kings of gacha. We'll talk about quality of life in a different time frame. Lineage W is actually getting a collaboration with Berserk, which I think is absolutely insane. If you look at some of the trailer footage just for like the Berserk announcement, it looks absolutely insane. And they actually show Guts walking around killing some enemies in this sort of Lineage WS sort of game. I'm not going to be playing Lineage W anytime soon, but I love how he actually sort of looks when you change between your character and you change between like the sort of skin that you have within the game. It translates perfectly because, you know, Berserk has like sort of like that gritty art style, you know, very bloody. And I love like the way these sort of goblins look as they're facing up against Guts. Loving to see like the sword. What's funny to me in my head when I sort of look at this sort of art style, it looks honestly better than the actual anime that released, you know, the 3D one. The 3D anime had like some moments where I was like, is this really an anime? Did they actually have like a budget for this one? I'm not trying to mock it, but I like how the game essentially looks better than the anime in some sequences when I'm sort of looking at it. Maybe whoever created the animations for like the Lineage W and Berserk collab, maybe they have a hand in creating the anime in the future. I have no idea. And honestly, a huge W for Lineage W securing like an actual collab that looks like this. It looks honestly amazing. Next thing is Atelier Ryza is going to be joining Artery Gear Fusion, which I think looks absolutely amazing. If you actually jump back on this trailer right here, you can see them sort of teleporting within like this series. These waifus look absolutely amazing. It just makes me want to try Atelier Ryza, and I've seen like so many different VTubers like playing this. I know Takanashi Kiara had some very provocative words around some of the characters, but the waifus, honestly, it's really making me want to try this game. Look at these animations. They look so beautiful. Why can't we have something like this in global? You know what I mean? But hopefully Artery Gear Fusion comes out sometime in 2022 with an Atelier Ryza sort of collab, so we can see something like this coming to us. It looks like they're going above and beyond as far as like collaboration is sort of going, and I'm really hyped for it. And I'm happy that Artery Gear Fusion is getting a collab like this. And there's gonna be all this different UI stuff in case you want to look at it. Probably some actual Alchemy stuff going within the Artery Gear Fusion franchise. I just wanted to cover this because Ryza is a beautiful looking waifu, and she definitely deserves the attention that she 100% deserves. Same for this waifu. I have no idea who that character is. Next thing is being Genshin Impact getting 2.4 in January. When is it? 5th right here. Nice. All right, we can sort of read. And here's going to be some of the trailers for the 2.4 update. Some fireworks with all the wonderful waifus and characters within the Genshin Impact series. Happy New Year to you whenever this is going to be releasing. Hopefully it's before December ends, but it is what it is. And here's going to be one of the new characters, Yoon Jun, appearing in Genshin Impact. For some reason, she reminds me of like, you know, like that little Red Riding Hood-esque sort of character, combined with the fact of like Demon Slayer sort of inspiration, because I could see her in the Demon Slayer sort of series, slaying some demons, but instead she's here in Genshin Impact doing whatever she is doing. And here's going to be the hype character, or I'm assuming like the 5-star release for the 2.4 update, going to be Shen He right here. Hopefully I'm saying these name rights. If not, it is whatever. but honestly, this character looks amazing. It makes me want to jump back into Genshin Impact because of how beautiful and amazing she actually looks. This character is so voluptuous, so seductive. Her design just screams waifu and demands to be pulled. She looks amazing, and I cannot wait for this actual release to come. Next things being is the FGO dev sort of reorganization or change in some ways you could say. So FGO developer Delightworks announces it has established a new company hosting its game development division. So there's going to be changes on the way the game is sort of being released. And just note, Delightworks also asked FGO fans to look forward to this reorganization. The team behind the mobile game pledges to surpass fans' expectations by improving its development and management capabilities. So who knows, maybe FGO will get some quality of life, some better updates, some, I guess, better stuff happening. Hopefully, the most important part, the PvE and story actually remains intact. Do not add PvP in this game because it would ruin everything, but I'm curious to see how this dev change will essentially impact the FGO series, because probably one of the most beloved series within like all of gacha gaming. And underrated gachas, in case you guys are looking for some new ones, Job Mania, I have never heard of that one, and Girl Cafe Gun, definitely a good one to sort of look at. I played it for a bit. And then Tower of Fantasy having some game-breaking bugs, of course. There's some crazy stuff happening there. New quality of life hitting Tales of Luminaria. In case you were interested, there's going to be separate attack and movement buttons, which I think is really cool because the game was like in the weird portrait mode and you could only play with one hand, but now you can play with two. So I guess it looks like a Game Boy. We also have Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel having a crossplay feature. You can enable it with your Xbox, your PlayStation, Nintendo Switch, Steam, which means PC, iOS, and Android devices. Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel getting all like these different functionality for it. That's really nice. I hope it's not released by Bandai, but it is what it is if that's the case. Next thing is being most popular catchphrases of the gacha gaming subreddit. I thought that was really funny. Ike cash grab being one. It won't last a year. Dead on reliable Amal. A good time to start my favorite game, followed by how is it my favorite game nowadays. Then we have why is no one talking about this? Don't play FGO. There's a reason why people say that. It's mostly because of the quality of life and it's difficult to catch up. But maybe this new studio or new dev team or Senguru does a wonderful job at making it so that we all want to try FGO. You know what I mean? And next thing is Alchemy Stars is getting a collab with Miss Kobayashi Dragon. Look at Toru and her wonderful sort of format in this situation. Honestly, it has me really hyped. Hopefully it comes to global. This is going to be in January 13th through 26th, so not too far off as of the release of this video. And then there's also going to be new characters outside of this. I'm forgetting the name of this character. Oh my gosh, I want to say it starts with like another T. I can't remember. It's all like the funny memes. There's so many memes with this character and I cannot remember. I guess this is going to be Tomori Kusanagi, who's going to be the voice of Vice, which is going to be really nice, doing some interviews right there. Some free stuff occurring right now, the half-year anniversary. But honestly, the fact that Toru is going to be coming to the Alchemy Stars series, that is really amazing because I did not think I would see Miss Kobayashi Dragon in an actual gacha game. Next thing is Fullmetal Alchemist is actually going to be getting some mobile reveals, some character designs that you can take a look at. This is going to be Edward Elric. He looks absolutely clean right here. Alphonse in his sort of like full metal, I guess, armored form. Hopefully we can see like a form of him like being human, like they sort of hinted at towards the anime when they got older. I'm talking about Edward and Alphonse right here. Then we have Winry right here as well. She looks absolutely amazing. And there's some Twitter campaigns with some pre-registration stuff going on. So hopefully this hints towards like 2022 releasing sometime soon in JP in the summer time frame and maybe a global release. Honestly, I think it's more likely that we're going to be getting, you know, global Black Clover more so than like the actual Fullmetal Alchemist game, you know, coming to us very soon. It's just really nice to see some of the artwork and some news on this game coming forward. The next thing is being a weekly recap on other things. Rage of Bahamut, last day is going to be February 28th. Just as far as game updates, the game is actually shutting down. There's gonna be the Alchemy Stars update with some, you know, new like sort of mechanisms for summoning. Tales of Luminaria, we talked about the quality of life, you know, Kobayashi Dragon and like the collabs happening over in Alchemy Stars. Fire Emblem Heroes getting a sparking system. Love Live with the new management. Tower of Fantasy, there's some exploits and all that stuff. Shaman King shutting down anyone who's not playing in JP. Nat Games and Nexon GT combining to make a new form of Nexon games. Kind of interesting there. But biggest things also is Kaleidoscope is coming to Dragalia Lost, which I think is amazing. This is going to be a labyrinth style sort of gameplay where it's always shifting each time you enter. So this is going to be a formal roguelike coming to the Dragalia Lost series. I think it's so interesting because no gacha game, or at least a gacha game to this scale, has implemented a roguelike dungeon progression to this level. So I'm really happy that Dragalia Lost is one of the first to formally implement it into an actual gameplay format that seems realistic. It's not going to be like your sort of tower mode, an actual formal dungeon roguelike sort of event that players can participate in regularly. I think that's just going to be really nice, and hopefully more gacha games sort of cover like this kaleidoscope sort of method or roguelike sort of feature, because I think it's like a much needed thing in like gacha games. Like it only makes sense that you can roll your dungeons and roll the maps that you sort of in order to get like better outcomes, better drops, and all sorts of things. It just makes things easier aside of like the stale format that we always get, run the same dungeon every single time. I just love roguelike games. Hopefully it got translated with the way I'm expressing things. Top grossing, here it is. Genshin Impact, in case you guys are wondering, it is at number 19. This is overall. Dragon Ball Legends, that's a good one, or you know, interesting one. And then some other games. This is based off of overall. There it is, role playing. That's the one I was looking for because the others did not make any sense. But here's going to be Raid Shadow Legends, of course, but the ones that we got to talk about is Epic 7, Summoner's War, and FGO being at the top. Those always have to be at the top. AFK Arena a little bit, I guess, lower? Maybe it was higher the other day. But yeah, this is gonna be like the stuff for top grossing. That's really nice to see, essentially. And this is Sensor Tower, in case you guys are wondering. And yeah, that's going to be the news for the end of the year for Gacha Gaming Weekly. This is a really fun series. I'm hoping you guys enjoy it. There's so many things happening in 2022. There's so many different titles that I'm really hyped for. If you look at my spreadsheets right here, I'm most hyped for Black Clover, Jujutsu Kaisen, and Fullmetal Alchemist. Those are the ones I'm looking forward to. Of course, if Girls Frontline 2 knocks it out of the park and comes to global, that'd be really nice. But yeah, oh my gosh, I am absolutely winded. I cannot wait for 2022 to come and for all these games to essentially release. I am all about it. But anyways, if you made it this far in today's video, consider subscribing, dropping a like, leaving a comment, follow me on Twitch, follow me on Twitter. Once we hit 30,000 subs, we're doing a giveaway. Thanks so much for watching. Have yourself a fantastic day, and see you guys in the next one.